everyone, welcome back. Today I have a rather huge book haul. I've accumulated, I think, about 21 books in the past month. Been a while getting to filming everything and waiting for all the books to kind of come in, but this is a collection of things I either picked up at work at Barnes & Noble through book closeouts, ordered online, or received as advance copies. So I'm just going to kind of dive in. Some I'll give you synopsises of the books, and some I'll just kind of skim over to try and keep it fairly short. The first group of books I got from book closeouts, I had a coupon that I wanted to use, so I just went online to see kind of what was available. I found a copy of The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chbosky. Most of y'all kind of know what this is about, so I'm not going to kind of go into detail, but I've been wanting to read this for a while, and then I'd like to see the movie, so wanted to pick up a copy of that. The next two books are by the same author, Dan Poblocki. One is The Nightmarys. I think I saw this one on Danny Marks YA's channel. And then his other book is called The Stone Child. They're both kind of in the horror genre. Nightmarys, kind of pretty much what it sounds about nightmares coming true, devouring the human soul. I was looking for some kind of more horror books to kind of get into. The Stone Child is about this guy. His name is Eddie. His favorite author is Nathaniel Homestead. He comes across this book written in code and moves into the town where the author's from, and all these weird, frightening creatures from this author's book seem to start coming alive, and he's got to decode this secret book to try and find a way to put these creatures back where they're from. So that sounded pretty cool. So I picked up a copy of that one. The next one I have is a middle grade book. It's a series I've read before, and I'm just trying to get the collection together of the hardcovers. And this is Theodosia and the Serpents of Chaos. It's by R.L. LaFevers, also known as Robin LaFevers. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the last name right, but she's the author of Grave Mercy, that nun assassin book written for YA, and this is her middle grade series, like I said. I've read the first 3 books. The 4th one is out. I have a copy of. I haven't yet to read, but I really enjoy it. It's about a young girl whose father is the head of he's the curator, I should say, of the Museum of London and Antiquities, and she can sort of sense evilness within these antiquities that her father and also her mother bring back to the museum, and she's able to, through various means, to dispel the evil from these objects, and either that or they endanger everyone. So it's pretty neat seeing this young kid kind of trying to come to the rescue, but I really enjoy them. Fans of, like, Harry Potter and things like that would enjoy something along that lines. The next one I picked up from book closeouts is The Tempest by Julie Cross. I don't know too much about this other than it's sort of like a time travel story. The young man apparently traveled back and forth in time. Something happens to I think it's his girlfriend. She gets killed and he's catapulted back in time and then sort of stuck there and has to find a way back. That's about all I know about it. I've heard some good things, so I'm looking forward to picking up and reading that one. The last book I got from book closeouts, I think this author I'd heard about from Charlie on her channel, Duvet Day Devours. She's really into, like, horror books and things. And the author is Alexandra Sokoloff, and the book is called The Unseen. It was the only one they had by that author. I was looking to see if I could track down a book of hers. And, yeah, this one, it says it's, I'll read the synopsis on this one. It says, after experiencing a precognitive dream that ends her engagement and changes her life forever, a young psychology professor at California decides to get a fresh start by taking a job at Duke University in North Carolina. She soon becomes obsessed with the files of the world-famous Rhine parapsychology lab experiments, which attempted to prove that ESP really exists. Along with the handsome professor, she uncovers troubling cases, including one about a house supposedly haunted by a poltergeist, investigated by another research team in 1965. Unaware that the original team ended up insane or dead, the 2 professors and 2 exceptionally gifted Duke students move into the abandoned mansion to replicate the investigation with horrifying results. So, yeah, haunted house, ESP, it hooked me right away. So I was really glad to find a copy of this one. Surprisingly, it came with a bookmark for the book, and when I opened it up, I also found that the book was signed, so totally cool. I was so excited about that. That was awesome. The next bunch of books I got from, actually, no, I have one more from them. I also picked up the second book in the Hollows series by Kim Harrison. This is The Good, the Bad, and the Undead. Of course, I've read all of the 11 books that are out so far. I love them all, and I've been wanting to get the hardcovers, which has been kind of difficult because I think originally the first couple of books weren't published in hardcover, but now Harper is sort of, through their imprint, EOS, Yeah, EOS, has sort of gone back and published the original ones in hardcover. So I was really glad to find a copy of that one. Now the next bunch is the ones I got from Barnes & Noble. And following the same Kim Harrison theme, this is her latest book, Ever After. I had won the book as a free ARC copy from Goodreads, and I wanted to get, of course, a finished hard copy for my collection. The next book you might have seen if you saw my Friday reads from yesterday, and that is, I can put it the other way, Death Note. This is the first bind-up in the manga series. There's 2 volumes in each bind-up, and I've already read the first one, and I've just started the second one, and it's really good. It's about the Shinigami, which is sort of a mythical death gods in Japan. And apparently, according to this, they exist. They carry these things called death notes, where if they write a human's name within the book, that human will die. Well, this one Shinigami is kind of bored, and he decides to mess around with humanity, and he drops the notebook in the human world, where one young boy named Light Yagami happens to come across it. He's rather a smart student. He at first doesn't believe it, tests it out by writing a name of someone who's like kidnapped some children, and he's seen their face and everything on TV, and when he writes the name in there, shortly after that person dies of a heart attack. Now he's thinking, oh, this is interesting. I can put this to use and rid the world of evil. So it's pretty interesting to see this downward spiral of this young man. But again, it's all black and white manga. Really like the illustrations and the storyline so far. It's really, really good. I believe there's about I think I've heard there's 5 or 6 of these bind-ups, so 2 volumes in each one so far that have been released. The next one I picked up is book 2 in the partial sequence by Dan Wells. This is called Fragments. Of course, this is the partials are sort of these cybernetic creatures that humans built to fight in wars, and they look very much like humans. Think along the lines of Cylons from Battlestar Galactica. Well, once the wars ended, they tried to integrate themselves in human society, and humans rebelled. War took place between the two, and the partial sort of released this RM virus, which attacked humans, killed most of them, and made the remaining humans not quite sterile. I mean, they can have children, but the children die almost right after they're born. So the human population is dwindling quickly. And this is the sequel to that first series. There are some really cool revelations in that first book, and I'm really looking forward to continuing the series. The next book I picked up is sort of a reread. I read this some time ago, and I think I rented it from a library. But I wanted to get a finished copy and kind of reread it again. This is by Kevin Brockmeier. It's called The Brief History of the Dead. And it's a real thin book. It's about 250 pages. It's adult fiction. And I'll just give you a little synopsis of it. It says, the city is inhabited by those who have departed Earth, but are still remembered by the living. They will reside in this afterlife until they are completely forgotten. But the city is shrinking and the residents clearing out. Some of the holdouts, like Lucas Sims, who produces the city's only newspaper, are wondering what exactly is going on. Others, like Coleman Kinsler, believe it is the beginning of the end. Meanwhile, Laura Bird is trapped in an Arctic research station. Her supplies are running low, her radio finds only static, and the power is falling. Excuse me. With little choice, Laura sets out across the ice to look for help, but time is running out. So it's kind of these two alternating storylines, and I like the whole idea of like the city of the dead still kind of existing as long as we remember them. It was kind of an interesting twist, but it's kind of fading a bit from memory, and I wanted to give it a reread again, so I picked up a copy of that. And the last one I got from Barnes & Noble, I've actually never read the book. I've seen the movie every year. It comes out like clockwork, and I saw Mikey over at It's Mikey's Mind talking about the actual physical book of it and some of the differences in it, and it really intrigued me to want to read it. So I was kind of researching for various editions of this particular book, which I'll show you in a moment, and I finally found one that I liked the best, and it is actually a Barnes & Noble edition, and it is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, and it is just a lovely, lovely kind of addition to it. And I'll show you the inside. There's a nice inside pages. It's sort of like silver gilt. There's one of those little bookmark tabs that's inside there. And it's fully illustrated throughout the book. And either through single tint illustrations, or some of them are multiple colored. There's one with Dorothy. It's just absolutely lovely. Oh, there's one with the lion and the scarecrow in the field of poppies. And like I said, I've been intrigued to want to read this for some time. So when I hit upon this edition, I had to have that one. So I'm gonna go into the scenes in red. So quite a lovely edition. You'll see on the cover there the monkeys and the Emerald City. There's sort of the yellow brick road here, and the three main characters. So really quite lovely. And it says there's no place like home on the back. Okay. Then also through work, I happened to get a advanced copy. This is a middle grade book. It's called The House of Secrets, and it came in this really cool little box. And let's get it out. It is by Chris Columbus and Ned Vizzini. And of course, like I said, it's advanced copy. It's got a great cover, and there's a little postcard that came with it. And so there's going to be artwork throughout this thing. This is a lot of it just shows like tentative art, so it's kind of missing from the advanced copy. There's like a book over here. Looks like it's got an eye on it. Yeah, there's like a little figure in there. And I'll just read a really quick synopsis here. A secret history, a mysterious family legacy, dark magic of untold power, and 3 kids who will risk everything to bring a family back together. From Hollywood icon Chris Columbus and best-selling author Ned Vizzini comes the start of this epic new series filled with high-stakes battles, supernatural villains, and stunning acts of bravery. I don't know if it says much more. These 3 children move with their parents into the mysterious and creepy Kristoff house. I love a mysterious, creepy house. They uncover a secret family legacy intertwined with dark magic. And what follows is an explosive adventure with stakes no less than life and death. There's a vengeful witch, skeleton pirates, and surprisingly tender-hearted colossus, and plot twists and turns that you'll never see coming. So, sounds really cool. So, I was happy to get a hold of a copy of that. It's actually blurbed by J.K. Rowling on the back, so sounds good. The next batch of books I've got from Half Price Books. I read the first one in this particular series quite some time ago when it first came out and saw the movie, but never read the rest of the books. And this is the Spiderwick Chronicles, and that is by Holly Black and I forgot the author's name. Excuse me, Tony DiTerlizzi. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but this is book 1, The Field Guide, and like I said, I read this first book quite some time ago, saw the movie, really enjoyed it, but wanted to read the rest. I've seen a lot of people with the bind-up of this series on their channels lately, and I was intrigued by that, but I really kind of prefer the box set. So it's a really nicely put together. Some of the strange creatures that you encounter in the story, and the 3 children, which are the main characters. And then the individual books, this is book 2, called The Seeing Stone. That's the back. We have book 3 is Lucinda's Secret. And they're quite small little stories, so it shouldn't take too long to read them. Book 4, The Ironwood Tree. And finally, book 5, The Wrath of the Mulgarath. Cool looking creature. So I was really happy to find the whole set over there. The next 2 books, one of my favorite authors, full of favorite authors, Kim Harrison in this pile, and Jasper Fforde. I've been working towards getting all the UK covers of the Thursday Next series. I finally got the last one that I needed, and that is book 2, Lost in a Good Book. This was a really hard one to find. I finally went directly to Jasper Fforde's merchandising website, which is called the Goliath Corporation, and you could order the book directly from there. You could even order it signed, so I jumped all over that one, and I picked up this copy of Lost in a Good Book. And you'll see it is signed by the author right there. It's stamped by the Goliath Corporation, and then at the top it's personalized, and it says, "To Sue, may you forever be lost in a good book." So I thought that was really cool. And each book they send comes with like a postcard. They're usually pretty humorous. This one, it says, "Horse shapes for 3/4 of a mile. Roadsides frequently take on a life of their own in the book world, leading to odd meta signs such as this one." And they're just silhouettes of people on horseback, so very strange, typical sense of humor of Jasper Fforde. And the other book I picked up while I was on that website was the second book in his Nursery Crime Division series. And this is called The Fourth Bear. This is also paperback and the UK cover. Came with another postcard. This is more road signs, and they're actually signs leading you in the book world. This way to Jane Eyre, that way to the Da Vinci Code, Paradise Lost, Fox and Socks. Typical goofiness. And again, I requested this one signed, so there's the signature, and then they stamped it again with the Goliath, and it just says To Sue up in the upper corner. And the very last book, I hope this hasn't been too long, the very last book I received in a package. This is, I entered a Goodreads contest for this particular title, and I literally entered it the night before I got the email saying I won it. It was just pure luck. I was online posting my review of Ever After, the previous one I won in a giveaway. So when I opened up that email, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. So it just arrived the other day. I'm kind of waiting for it to show up so I could do this book haul. And the book is The Darkest Minds, and it's by Alexandra Bracken. And it is a YA book, and I am so ecstatic about it. Received this, like I said, from the author and from Random House, and it just says, "Hi Sue, thanks for entering the GR contest. Happy reading, Alex." And inside, it's signed. And I'll just read the synopsis really quick for you. It says, when Ruby woke up on her 10th birthday, something about her had changed. Something frightening enough to make her parents lock her in the garage and call the police. Something that got her sent to Thurmond, a brutal government rehabilitation camp. She might have survived the mysterious disease that had killed most of America's children, but she and others emerged with something far worse. Frightening abilities they could not control. Now 16, Ruby is one of the dangerous ones. When the truth comes out, Ruby barely escapes Thurmond with her life. She is on the run, desperate to find the only safe haven left for kids like her, East River. She joins a group of kids who have escaped their own camp. Liam, their brave leader, is falling hard for Ruby. But no matter how much she aches for him, Ruby can't risk getting close. Not after what happened to her parents. When they arrive at East River, nothing is as it seems, least of all its mysterious leader. But there are other forces at work, people who will stop at nothing to use Ruby in their fight against the government. Ruby will be faced with a terrible choice, one that may mean giving up her only choice and having a life worth living. So, it sounds really awesome, and I've heard some really good things about it, so I was so excited to win this. So thank you very much, Random House and Alex, for sending this book to me. I can't wait to jump into it. So that is it. It is a massive haul. I should not buy any more books for a while. I've got a lot of reading to do. But as you can see, I'm in this weird reading bump. I have been reading multiple books at the same time. I don't know what's gotten into me lately, but it's just like I want to devour everything that I see. So I'm just going to go with it. Hang on. I'll try to do some reviews on these. I've kind of not done some reviews in a while because I've been reading a lot of sequels, so I don't want to give away any spoilers. But as soon as I read some new ones and things, I will jump on and get you guys some reviews. So thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned, and happy reading. Bye-bye.